if I start telling people about hell, I might just scare them off. Where are you going to scare them off to? Hell number 2? Or are you just going to sit there and let them burn?
This Christmas, drones being unwrapped today all across the country. So many, in fact, that this week the FAA launched a new drone safety campaign.
Verizon, the U.S.'s largest wireless telecom company, is developing technology with NASA to direct and monitor America's growing fleet of civilian and commercial drones.
Can you see it now? A pack of drones swirling above you, communicating with each other over Wi-Fi. Well, researchers from the Naval Postgraduate School in California are working on a project that would allow 24 drones to, quote, work together, behaving as one. Doesn't that sound awesome, Nick?
And it's not just small models, but bigger military-sized drones as well. Class enrollments up more than 1,000%. It's a generational shift here at Embry-Riddle, which has taught conventional piloting since 1926. Now, in just 3 years, its unmanned aviation major has grown from 11 students to more than 200.
Drones are going to be everywhere, above, below, on the ground, in the water, whether you recognize them as drones or not. And the weaponry they're giving them has the capability, as you just saw, to chase you down, even around corners, just like a guided missile, until it takes you out every single time.
Now, here's a quote. This is the first AI system of that quality that has successfully completed the test and has been passed on to the client. The technology is being readied for installation on real-life robotic systems, both civilian and in the military, including unmanned aerial vehicles. Dear God, it's actually happening.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out.
Here's the answer. Stop building this stuff, okay?
Fans of the movie The Avengers may remember a flying aircraft carrier. Now, officials from the United States military's Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, have expressed interest in developing their own flying aircraft carrier that can launch a fleet of drones.
Folks, this is the foundation of a Skynet scenario. We are watching it being formed before our very eyes. I mean, we don't have those humanoid robots coming anytime soon, do we? Yes, we do.
But there are many precursors to what we call killer robots. The U.S., for example, is testing the X-47B, which is a subsonic super drone, as it is called.
An unmistakable target. Someone forgot to delete this comment before our camera captures it. Blew this up, it says. Go off base, and that is precisely the type of humor that is not appreciated.
I did talk to Larry Page when Google first started, because I was really perplexed about why would anybody make a new search engine when we had Alta Vista, which was the current search engine. It seemed good enough. And he said, oh, it's not to make a search engine, it's to make an AI.
And there you have it. That's Attack of the Drones. Skynet is coming. That's the third trailer clip there that you hear, and you can get it at getalifemedia.com. Getalifemedia.com. So, and also you can find us at Don't Let Them Burn at don'tletthemburn.com. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So, without further ado, we're going to bring in our guest, Pastor Billy.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good night, Pastor Billy. How are you?
Hey, doing good. Hey, Rory, when are you moving to Vegas? Let's just cut to the chase.
Come and visit.
Get this over with.
It's too cold this time of year.
Yeah. But seriously, hey guys, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's good to
Happy to have you on.
It's an important topic that people need to wake up to. And so just going to let you run and do your thing here.
Well, yeah, thanks, guys. And I really appreciate it because really excited to get this information out and just kind of a little bit of the history of how it all came about. We had done a documentary. Our first attempt at a documentary was on UFOs. UFOs, the Great Last Days Deception, and of course we're here in Las Vegas, and Area 51 is not too far from us. So we took a little trek out there, about 2.5-hour drive, and out in the middle of the desert, and that's where we shot that first one. And thought, that was kind of cool, neat thing to do, and started to focus our energies on another movie project and stuff, and really wasn't thinking about the documentaries. But how this all came about was I was teaching a Bible prophecy, as you'd mentioned in the opening, on a study called the Final Countdown Study. And the original Final Countdown study was 50 weeks dealing with the signs we're living in the last days. And then I moved on to another study, a couple more studies. But about 6 months later, I was back in prophecy again. And believe you me, I had my plans weren't to get into prophecy again so extensively so soon, but it was happening so fast that I had to felt led of the Lord to get back into it. And so as we we're into that study for another 30 weeks, so now we're 80 weeks into Bible prophecy, because it's happening so fast. I teach on prophecy all the time, and but I have never in all the years seen it happen so fast, so many different angles. It's not just rapidly increasing, it's going exponentially. And so when we finish that extra 30 weeks, so again a total of 80 weeks on prophecy, I still, believe it or not, had 3 stacks of research left on my desk. And one of them is what turned into this documentary. And because at first I was kind of a little bummed out, like, man, I got all this information on drones, and I was going to add it to the Big Brother section, and didn't get to it. But obviously God had other plans, and that's what this has turned into. It's a 14-hour documentary, all on drones. And as the title says, it's the attack of the drones. And I don't think most people realize that this isn't just a Big Brother issue. The drones that we're seeing, we're just seeing the cusp of it. It's going to radically change our planet. In fact, if you want to Google or just search online for UN robot wars, just type that phrase in. You're going to see that this is a legitimate issue. We got countries around the world that are clamoring and crying out to the UN, you better put a stop to this, of what's happening, because we are headed for global robot wars. The whole way of doing war is about to radically change. And as creepy as that is, that's still the tip of the iceberg that we uncovered once we went down this rabbit hole with the information we came across and developed into this 14-hour documentary. It's not just it's going to be used for war. Drones, it truly is an invasion and attack. Drones are going to permeate all aspects of society. We're not talking just, predator drones and the global hawks, things of that nature. We think about the military aspect. But they're going to be everywhere. Drones in the sky, drones on the ground, drones in the water, drones under the water, drones launching drones, swarms of drones. This is what's coming to our planet. And again, the reason why we entitled it not just Attack of the Drones, but Skynet is coming, is because, believe it or not, this is not only being launched around the world, and we're going to have drones everywhere, just like a bunch of pesky mosquitoes everywhere you can think of. But it's actually at the same time, it's starting to be combined with an artificial intelligence, I kid you not, and wait till you hear, who are the people behind it. But it's being combined with artificial intelligence to control it on a global basis. And for anybody who knows anything about science fiction, that's the whole premise for the Terminator movies. And again, that's why we called it Skynet. Skynet's from the Terminator movies. Skynet is coming. And just a little, if you guys give me a little second here, just kind of give the premise of Skynet, if you will, the whole Terminator thing. For your listeners who aren't familiar with that, basically Skynet, it's a back then anyway. Of course, the movie is supposed to be fictional, but it's real now. It's a fictional computer system that was developed by the military in the U.S. In the Terminator movies, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff. And it was supposed to be used to, be a global defense network. And they were developing the system and give it command over all the military hardware and systems, as well as the military equipment, the planes, the bombs, the nuclear weapons, the whole 9 yards. And the whole premise was this whole computerized artificial intelligence, this Skynet, was supposed to, remove the human error element. Okay, and it was supposed to be much faster, more efficient, and of course, the big thing, it was going to protect us from cyber attacks. And of course, on the news, all the kinds of stuff that's been going on, if you're paying attention, that's, supposedly a big, giant threat that's today. So, it's all being set up. But the problem, of course, at least if you recall the movie premise, Skynet, of course, eventually became self-aware or became artificial intelligence. And what happened was mankind recognized, uh-oh, what did we just create, again, according to the movie, and they tried to put a stop to it. And, well, of course, then Skynet tricked it into letting it get activated, and then it took this threat of humanity trying to, cut it off and as a threat, so they decided that, Skynet decided humanity was a threat itself. So Skynet decided to destroy humanity. And so they did that by faking an attack against Russia. They launched nuclear missiles at Russia, and then Russia, of course, took this as an attack from the U.S. And of course, then everybody's throwing nuclear bombs, and of course, the whole world basically goes up in smoke. Now, in the movie, this is called Judgment Day. Okay, the day when it all went, when Skynet took over, and they launched the nuclear missiles, and there was a whole nuclear winter, et cetera, blah blah. And then that wasn't all. Some humans survived, according to the movie. And they sent out these mechanized robots and these drone vehicles and all this stuff connected with this artificial intelligence, this Skynet. And they basically, hunted mankind down, kept a few around to do their dirty work and slave work and stuff. And basically the whole premise of the movie is, those guys going back in time to try to stop Judgment Day and stop Skynet from this and that and back and forth and blah, blah, blah. Now, believe it or not, and the reason why, that's why we titled it what we did, Attack of the Drone, Skynet is Coming, is because most people have no clue that movie premise is about to become our reality. And this is what's actually being built. In fact, what was kind of a neat thing, I did not plan on this when I was doing the initial research, but as I began to go into it, there's a constant thread through the documentary, and that is, I believe, Hollywood, not just the Terminator movie premise, but Hollywood in various movies throughout the last several decades has preparing us for this future. And I think that Hollywood, again, is a propaganda tool. It's a pre-educational tool. And I wasn't planning on it. But as I was doing the research, I'm going, wait a second, this isn't just like the Terminator movie, but this aspect of this research, that sounds like this movie. And wait a second, that sounds like that movie that came out 20 years ago. Or hey, that sounds like that movie that just came out just now. And then it happened so repeatedly. I'm going like, wait a second, is Hollywood trying to prepare us for something? Which, of course, I believe the answer is yes. So that when it happens, not if, most of our world is not too shocked by it. They're desensitized by it. Okay, because when you we went down deep on this subject, right? Because that's a pretty heavy premise, right? Hey, guess what? There's going to be drones everywhere on the whole planet, right? And it's going to take over. They're going to be armed to the teeth, and they're going to be connected with artificial intelligence on a global basis. And you're in a heap of trouble. Most people say, yeah, you just went off your rocker. But this is why the documentary is so long. It's 14 hours because we were very methodical in our research. There's around 180 video clips of evidence, whether it be news broadcasts. This isn't from JoeSchmo.com or WackyConspiracyGuy.org, so to speak. This is the actual news broadcast. This is the actual military video clips demonstrating their equipment and the artificial intelligence and things of that nature. We're not making this up. We just bring the information to you.
If you like our videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all our frequent updates.